Hey, and welcome into Sound Wisdom Tarot. I'm Shannon Rose Scott, and this is your love reading regarding an ex or regarding someone you are currently in no contact with. Okay, so let's get right into it, my collective. Let us begin with some oracle cards to give us some overall messages before we dive into the tarot. Okay, here we go. Spirit guides, hi divine. Intergalactical beings and angel guides, thank you. Please help me connect to the spirit guides of my collective, tuning in for this timeless reading, meaning whenever you've happened to come upon it is the right time for you. For this love reading regarding an ex, regarding someone they are currently in no contact with. Is there anything else popping up right here, right now? Thank you. Okay, here we go. So all of this card jumped out, and the other two were kind of stuck energies. So that tells me something as well. So the card that came jumping out was Adventure Awaits. Go find it. You got something better coming your way. Okay, Adventure Awaits. Go find it. The stuck energy. Oh, you're moving on to a steady and reliable path. Okay. So you might be feeling a little stuck right now regarding this ex and a little bit stuck in this idea of moving on, but you are moving on to a steady and reliable path. Okay, as you embrace this adventure and go for it, go find the adventure that's taking you onto a more steady and reliable path. And see here, you've got all these boxes. Looks like you're like getting ready to pack up and move on. What else was stuck here? Oh yeah. Okay. So souls that belong to each other will always find their way back together. Okay, so this may not be completely over yet, collective. Maybe this adventure, you need to go on this adventure on your own first in order to come back together. You're moving on to a more steady, reliable path that might lead you back to this person. If you are meant to be together, you will find your way back together. And then here we have another card that kind of symbolizes this. According to Greek mythology, humans were originally created with 4 arms and 4 legs and a head with 2 faces. Fearing their power, Zeus split them into 2 separate beings, condemning them to spend their lives in search of their other halves. If you're meant to be back together, you will find each other again. Go out into the adventure and go find what it is you need to find in order to come back together or in order to find the true soulmate. Okay. I need a bit more clarification before I find out what's going on exactly with you and your ex, this person you're in no contact with. I'm getting a couple mixed messages here, but this is just the overall oracle cards. So let's do it. Let's get into the tarot. Let's go there right now and find out what you need to know. I want a Celtic cross reading, actually, regarding what happened, what went down between the two of you. Okay, what was the issue and what's coming forward for you? All right, Spirit, please give me all the clear details. Please help me understand the situation as clearly as I can between what happened with my collective, thank you, and their ex. So the situation is not being able to make a choice. Clarifying or enhancing that, thank you. Okay. The Hangman and Strength. 2 cards jumped out there. Let's pull all the cards before I get into the interpretation. What happened in the recent past? The recent past, please. The recent past. too many. Oh, one though. Ah, fighting. 5 of Swords. Okay. Thank you. Here we go. Knight of Wands. What is the unknown? What is the unknown, please? Okay. The Lovers. Next steps. Next steps. Next steps. The Devil. Okay. How does our collective feel about this situation, please? How does our collective feel about this situation? Thank you. 4 of Pentacles. What are you attracting from the outside? The Empress, 8 of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Your hopes and fears, Wheel of Fortune. And the outcome, please. These cards are just kind of spilling out. The outcome, please. The most likely outcome. The most likely outcome now. The outcome. The most likely outcome, please. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So, the issue regarding you and your ex was someone wasn't making a choice. Someone was really undecided. One of you was undecided about the other. Couldn't make a choice, couldn't decide whether you wanted to be together, how you wanted to be together, how serious to make it. Yeah, one of you just kept waiting. One of you just kept waiting to make this decision, and the other person had to keep trying to be really strong. Yeah. And I feel like one of you decided you couldn't keep being strong. You couldn't keep waiting around. You couldn't keep... Yeah, like not only was one of you waiting to make the decision, you were also making the other one wait. And it led to a lot of fighting. So in the past, you were just fighting. You were fighting and fighting. You were probably fighting over what your relationship should be. Like I'm getting the message that like one of you didn't want to label it. One of you didn't want to label it, and they held... I feel like this was your ex. Your ex did not want to label it. Your ex couldn't decide if they wanted you or not, or if they wanted to make it official. Yeah, and they were making you hang around. They were hanging around, not making this decision. They were making you hang around. You were trying to be really strong and be patient. But the two of you were fighting a lot about what this was and about how to move forward. And one of you, I feel like your ex, was so set in their ways, they refused to make that choice, that they wanted to win at all costs, right? They were willing to lose you in order to hold fast to this. No, we're not going to like make this official. No, we're not going to label this. They wanted to win. They wanted to be right. And they were willing to let you walk away hurt. Now, unbeknownst to you, and to them, right, is that this was a true love connection. And it was to teach the lesson about higher love, right? The lover shows up when there's a choice to make. The lover shows up when there's a big choice to make, but it also shows up, so I'm just covering up their nakedness because YouTube doesn't like it. I know we don't care, right? But YouTube doesn't like it. So here we go. The lover shows up when they're trying to get us to rise up to a higher type of love, to move beyond just the physical connection, to move beyond the feeling of needing the other person, that kind of codependent type of love, and to rise up into spiritual love, where you're there for each other while remaining dependent. Independent. So working underneath all of this was to give you lessons as to what real love is, to give you both lessons. The gnome is moving towards passion. The Knight of Wands is a card of the Knight of Wands is a card of like sex appeal. Okay, so you know the known. This is in the known position. You know that you're attracted to each other. You know there's that sexual desire. There was a lot of fire between the two of you. But what you didn't know was what a spiritual bond was possible. Now your next steps. This is interesting because see, the Lovers and the Devil card mirror each other. See how both of them, we have two lovers, and this one, the lovers are chained together. And this one, they're free. In the Devil card, we've got the devil figure, the devil angel, because the devil is a fallen angel, right? And in the Lovers card, we have the higher angel. So what you didn't know was that this was a chance to develop more spiritual love. But in your next steps, there's going to be some temptation. Some temptation to chain yourself, to become attached. There may be a temptation to go back into the fighting mode, right? To go back into something that was a little toxic. You might be tempted because of this fire, because of the sexual tension between you two. You might be tempted to just like go back for one more like sexual fling. You might be tempted, if it has nothing to do with them, because you're still in no contact, perhaps, you might just be tempted to try to get over them by going to the physical. Your next step is to avoid the temptation, okay? To not let yourself vibrate low. You're going to be tempted. What are you going to do with that temptation, collective? Now, the thing is, you want them. You still want them. I mean, that's why you're here here for this reading, right? You are still clinging on to the hope that this could still work out. This is how you're feeling. What are you attracting from the outside? That's interesting. You're attracting the opportunity to boss up and become the empress of your own life. Okay, to be emotionally fulfilled and happy, mentally fulfilled and happy, inspired and have your drive and passion fulfilled, and your abundance, but independently. Yeah, so the Queen of Pentacles. So you have double the abundance here showing up. This is what you're attracting from the outside. The ability, I can't help but notice both of these like feminine cards, right? The ability to be at your most powerfully independent feminine self. Now the Empress though is also like full of creative potential. And the Queen of Pentacles has everything she needs to make this abundance happen. She's also very fertile and creative. I'm getting the message for some of you, again, this warning to be careful of the temptation, because this could actually lead, like this, all this physical passion could lead towards pregnancy. Okay, now if you want that, that's great. But if you're not looking for that right now, right, you could be drawn back towards each other physically, but because like this is what you're attracting from the outside, and there's a lot of fertility here, right, and abundance of fertility. So just watch out for any unexpected pregnancies. If that's not what you want, make sure to take precautions. But you're also attracting a bit of a cage of your own making. So again, this warning to resist temptations that are going to have you vibrating low. You could feel really trapped if you have this unwanted pregnancy, right? And if it's not that, it's more you are this amazing boss of your life. You are the Empress. You are the Queen of Pentacles. Don't let yourself see yourself as trapped, because you are actually full of abundance, creativity. You've got immense ability to problem solve your way out of this situation. You do not need to see yourself as trapped. It's an illusion. Okay, this is a cage. The Eight of Swords is a sign of like your own thoughts holding you back. But you've put yourself in this cage of thoughts. Perhaps by your desire to hold on to them, to hold on to the ex so strongly. Because your hopes and dreams, your hopes and your fears lie in change. Okay, it's like you fear the change, but your hopes and dreams lie in your ability to go with this change, to go with the flow of this change. And instead of hold on and cling on to this wheel for dear life, you got to rise above and ride the wheel of change. And that will bring you good fortune. If you can rise up and allow and go with the flow of change, this will bring in all of this abundance, this good luck and fortune. But if you cling too much, which is how you're feeling right now, if you cling to it and resist the change, right? If you're tempted to go back and just be in the sexual nature of it instead of learning to rise up with the spiritual lessons of this relationship, well, this is the most likely outcome. It's more fighting. In the past, we had 5 of Swords. If you go back, yeah, I'm sorry, collective, but the cards are speaking to me here. You got 5 of Swords and 5 of Wands. 5 of Swords in your past, 5 of Swords in your likely future. 5 of Wands, sorry, 5 of Swords and 5 of Wands. 2 5s, that's big challenges. These are both like little tower moments. If you go back to your ex, things are not going to change. Okay, you're still going to keep fighting. They're still going to be undecided. They could even be a bit of a player. Okay, the Knight of Wands is not only a card of like sexual attraction, it's also, this guy's like letting everybody ride his horse, right? And with all that temptation, all that sexual energy, right? You could be tempted to just go back into the pleasure of it all instead of learning the higher lesson here. If your ex didn't choose you the first time, why would they choose you now? I'm sorry. I know I've been there too, right? Where you hope that this time will be different. I know what that's like. I've done that. I've done that. A lot of us have, we've all done that, right? But you're being invited. You're being invited to go with the flow of the change. What were those cards at the beginning? You're moving on to a steady and reliable path. Yeah, if you allow the change that's already happened, right? You're already in no contact. They're already an ex. And if they're not quite your ex, like if you've just taken a pause, but you're in no contact, well, this is you moving on to a steady path. Okay, you've kind of half-heartedly packed some boxes. It's time for you to move on. Adventure awaits you. Better adventures await you. That was my first instinct, right? Better adventures await you. And just trust that, like, if you're really meant to be together, you'll find your way back together. But now is not the time. Do not be tempted to vibrate low. Do not be tempted by the sexual passions. Your true soulmate is still out there waiting for you to leave this ex behind fully. Because if you go back to them, if you're tempted, if you fall into temptation, you're going to get the same thing you had before. They didn't choose you before. They're not going to choose you now. No, you've got to boss up. Okay, let them go. Let them go. Stop holding on. I know that's easier said than done. But it's time. It's time to stop holding on to them. Because that is just going to keep you in this cage of your own making when you could be the Empress, the Queen of Pentacles. You already have everything you need to go on this adventure and to find your true soulmate, to find your King of Pentacles instead of this Knight of Wands, okay? This ex of yours is just a knight. They're not a king. They're not the emperor. They're a knight. But you're a queen. A queen deserves better than a knight, okay? So does the Empress. You deserve a king and or an emperor, not a knight. Not this Knight of Wands who spreads his wand around with everyone, who lets everybody ride his horse. Okay? You want someone who's stable and committed like you, who's able to provide equally. And if you allow this change, that is what's going to bring you good fortune. But if you cling to the old, you're just going to bring in this same old energy you already know, this fighting, this competing, this winning at all costs. Destiny. It was destiny that you met and that you went through this because you needed to learn the higher lessons of love, to move beyond the physical and take it to a higher level. And your destiny awaits you. Adventure awaits you. Go find it. What will happen for our collective if they leave this ex in their past and move forward with someone new? Oh my goodness. Yes. Endings bring new beginnings. Okay? Growth, change, liberation, and transition. Yes, endings bring new beginnings. If you can put this other person, put this relationship in the coffin, let it go, that ending will bring you a brand new beginning. Yeah, you'll get to go. It's like going on a boat, going on this adventure. Adventure awaits you. Here we have an image of a lake, and here we've got a boat. Okay? You'll receive what you need. You'll move on. You'll get closure. And look at this. Then like lightning, sudden change will come in. Surprises. And then you have the soulmate card. The soulmate card. Could this be any clearer? Yes, you will find your soulmate. You'll get a soul contract, a soul connection, a partnership when you leave this ex behind. I like this for you, collective. I like this for you. Okay, you deserve way better than this person who just wants to fight and wants to win at all costs, who didn't want to choose. You deserve someone better than that. Go find them. Adventure awaits. Your destiny awaits you. Your soul contract, your real soulmate is awaiting you. Go find them. Dear collective, if this resonated with you, would you please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and do comment below, okay? Even if it's just with an emoji, that helps me tune into your energy more for future readings. But if you're willing to share your story, it really helps all of us here, all of the collective, learn how to interpret these readings more personally for themselves when they hear other people's interpretations. So I'd love to know how this resonated for you, what you're taking away from this reading. And I do read all my comments and I respond, although it might take me a little while to respond. But please do know that I read every single comment, and it means so much to me to have your support here. It's been such an honor to spend time in your energy. And hey, if you want a even more personalized, unique reading for you, I do offer privates, okay? I've got a 30-minute reading, 60-minute readings. I even have a special 2024 full year tarot forecast reading on right now. And if you'd like to be a Sound Wisdom regular, I have a really special deal on right now for those of you who would like a monthly reading for me for all of 2024, a unique personalized reading every month. Check out the details below. You get to ask your specific questions. You get to choose a monthly theme, and it's a really great deal. So check it out below. But if this is where I leave you, if this is where we part ways for now, big love, and keep tuning in for future readings, and definitely tune into your own inner wisdom, your sound wisdom path. You are the most important part of every tarot reading, and it's an honor to read for you. Until next time.